interior side on the inspection and pick. So let's start with the steps first. So the home, once you're walking into it, the first thing you want to do is smell the home. With manufactured and mobile homes, there's a lot of time where these homes just smell like, pets, or they might even smell like cigarettes. Those things you must fix. You can get this done with paint kills. The kills are really good because they help trap cigarette and pet smells on, underneath the layer of paint and then underneath that carpet or tile. So that's a major thing when you go in, right when you go into the house, just smell it. You want to get those smells out of there for strategies 1 and 2, because your end buyer just doesn't want those things and those smells in the home. And then plumbing, we're checking the plumbing system for functionality. You want to go inside the house, make sure everything as far as the water is running, go inside the kitchen and test it, go inside the bathrooms, make sure you're flushing the toilets, turning on the water, go into the shower head and the tub and turn the water on, making sure the hot and cold water works. Again, you don't have to be a plumber to do this. You can, do this without any experience. You just want to make sure that everything works properly, especially, when you're talking about water and the water pressure. You want to make sure you're good to go. When you're checking the plumbing, especially in the bathrooms, once you flush that toilet, check behind the toilet, check for any leaks, but also check for any type of mold. We find that a lot of the bathrooms in mobile homes that do leak, they're just not fixed. And over time, you start to build up a lot of black mold. If that happens, you're going to have to replace that entire area of subflooring. Of course, you're going to have to fix the leak within the toilet. And then once that subflooring is fixed, you're going to have to replace, the tile that was covering it as well. The flooring, we're checking the condition of the flooring. You want to walk the entire home. Carpet, stains and things like that, we're not too concerned about. Missing pieces of tile, cracked tile, and things like that, we're not worried about. What we're worried about really is the subflooring, the layer of flooring underneath that carpet or tile, because those soft spots that are there, nobody wants to buy those. They know they're going to have to fix it. They can be costly for them. So you want to knock those right out. A lot of the homes, especially the pre-HUD homes, some of the homes built in the later 70s, early 80s, they were built using particle board for their flooring. If you know anything about particle board, is if you get it wet at all, it kind of like just traps that moisture, it soaks it right up, and then it's easy to fall apart. I'm a bigger guy, 6'2", about 220, and if there's any type of particle board in a mobile home that's soaked, I usually step on it and I could possibly risk falling through. So be sure to check the condition of the flooring. It's a major piece. And then the ceiling condition. We want to make sure that we're checking for any type of water spots, any type of water stains. You want to make sure you're taking care of those issues. I always say you're looking for a color. You're looking for either a yellow color, a brown color, or orange. The lighter the color with that water stain, that means that it's a newer type of water stain, which means that problem needs to be fixed earlier, sooner, versus later. The darker the color, you don't need to worry about it too much, but it's still something to check on. If it's very light, you might want to even feel the ceiling if you can, to see if there's any moisture coming through. And then the AC and wall units, again, for those, we're checking for functionality. So with the AC, what I like to do when I walk into a home is always make sure to turn on the AC just to make sure it's running, make sure it sounds well. If it doesn't have an AC unit, well, it might have wall units or even a swamp cooler. We're just checking that it's functional and that it's working. The same goes with the electrical systems. You can go in and walk in with your phone and phone charger and just plug it into the outlets, making sure most of the outlets work. If you have one or two outlets that aren't working, it's fine. You can still sell the home. You will have no problem finding a buyer. And then you're going to want to make sure to turn on all of the lights within the home, all the light switches, the fan, just to make sure everything is functional. As far as the cosmetics on the home, we just like to do a quick, nice and easy scan. So we're checking, any type of holes in the wall, scratching with paint, missing doorknobs, missing cabinets within the kitchen. Those things are okay. They're considered cosmetic. As long as you're selling your home for the right price, your buyer won't mind fixing those things. A lot of the cosmetic repairs, we always say those are optional. If you would like to do them, if you don't want to do them, that's fine as well. Always check the window condition with these mobile homes. The reason this is so important is because it can be costly. A lot of these windows that were built in the 70s and 80s, even some in the early 90s, they just don't even make them anymore. So you got to have a good handyman on your team that's able to be creative with doing some of those repairs. I love going in and making sure I check those windows, just the condition. If they, are locked and they can't open anymore, that's fine as well. But I'm mainly talking about the glass within the window. Those are some of the things you want to look for. And then as far as picks on the inside of the home, we're taking a overview pic of the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the living room, the kitchen, the flooring and ceiling. As far as the ceiling goes, only when you see issues is it very important to get every angle possible. You want to make sure that you're able to articulate yourself when you are talking to your handyman, and having pics will help you a ton. And even checking, taking pics of the washer and dryer. You want to have those on file so that when you are creating your ad, you've got all of your pictures ready to go. So go ahead and look at some of the realtor ads online. When it comes to mobile homes, you can find any on Facebook or Craigslist. You'll see that most of the investors and realtors that are selling these homes, we do a good overview of the bedroom and bathroom. We try to open up that living room. We try to open up that kitchen. This is a mobile or manufactured home, so it's your job to try to make it appear bigger than what it is.
Yeah, and you don't have to you can take all your pictures on your cell phone, of course, but like Jay said, think about, how, if I had to post this online, what's the most desirable angle that I can get? Take a few different angles of that, because you may have this may be the only pictures you have to post online. So try to get the best ones you can on your first inspection.